is now in session. Please stand for a moment of silence, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Clanton?
Present.
Mrs. Doyle?
Here.
Mrs. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. McGee?
Here.
Mr. Page?
Here.
Mr. Smigiel,
Here.
Mr. Thomas?
Here.
Dr. Alexander?
Aye. The motion is to dispense with the reading of the minutes of our previous meeting.
Mr. Clanton?
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. McGee?
Aye.
Mr. Page?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Dr. Alexander?
Aye. Mr. Clerk, please read the resolution certifying the closed meeting.
A resolution certifying a closed meeting of the Council of the City of Norfolk in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. Adopt the resolution. Mr. Clanton?
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. McGee?
Aye.
Mr. Page?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Dr. Alexander?
Aye. Good evening and welcome to the Norfolk City Council Chamber tonight. We'll first take up the consent agenda, which will be voted in a block. If any member of the council or the public wishes to discuss an item, it will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Following the consent agenda, we'll take up regular agenda items. To address the council on an agenda item or new business, you should have registered with the clerk prior to 3 p.m. When your name is called, please come to the podium, state your name, your home address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Mr. Clerk, the consent agenda will be considered in a block, except C4 and C5. We will consider them separately. And C13 will be considered separately. And C12.
Not 13.
13 can stay, and 12 will be removed and considered separately.
Are there any more?
4, 5, and
Approve the
12.
consent agenda and dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinances twice and adopt with the effective dates, with the exception of C4, C5, and C12. Mr. Clanton?
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. McGee?
Aye.
Mr. Page?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Dr. Alexander?
Aye. Mr. Clerk, C4.
I have an ordinance granting a conditional use permit to authorize a short-term rental unit homestay on property located at 801 Colonial Avenue.
Thank you. Walter Ott, please.
Good evening, Council. My name is Dr. Walter Ott. I'm a resident of the 700 block of Colonial Avenue. I've been a long-term resident and a property owner in Ghent of 31 years. I voiced my opposition to the proposed conditional use permit for the short-term rental and reduced required parking for 801 Colonial Avenue. My points are inconsistent use. Property is a single-family home with no dedicated off-street parking. The request is dependent on use of city streets for parking. There are a large number of short-term rentals that are not being monitored, and there's a lack of policing of those short-term rentals. Specifically, who actually enforces the length of the stays, the number of the guests, and the number of vehicles. There are already 2 non-registered short-term rentals on the 700 block of Colonial Avenue that are causing issues to the residents. Those houses are 713 and 717 Colonial Avenue, plus there's another one, 511 Bossavane Avenue. These are large single-family homes being split up into multiple units, plus there are several others within several blocks. At least one of these properties puts parking cones on the street prior to people checking in, preventing residents from parking on the street. The 800 block of Colonial Avenue has a 16-unit apartment building, 815 Colonial Avenue. The 5 blocks within 300 feet of the proposed property already have significant parking constraints. Specifically, as of 2100 9 o'clock last night, the 700, 800, and 900 blocks have approximately 16 parking spots each. At 9 o'clock last night, on the 900 block, 14 of those 16 spots were used, 87%. 800 block, 14 of 16, 87%. 700 block, 11 of 16, 75%. The 500 block of Redgate Avenue, 18 out of 20, 90% use. 4 out of 7 on Raleigh for the 500 block, 57% use. In addition, residents in Stockley Gardens during periods of flooding and heavy rains move their cars from Stockley Garden to the upper portions of the 500 block of Bossavane, Redgate, and Raleigh, plus Colonial Avenue. And then in addition, if this proposal is being considered for approval, why doesn't the proposal include the requestee actually signing an agreement with either the Oleph Shalom Temple or either Ghent United Methodist Church and use that off-street parking rather than adding to the congestion on Colonial Avenue?
You, sir.
Those are my concerns, and I appreciate your consideration.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jason Eldman?
Good evening, members of the council.
Good evening.
Happy to, Jason Edelman, 801 Colonial Avenue. I'm the applicant. Happy to address the concerns raised by Walt. It sounds like this is as much a general concern with short-term rentals than it is with our rentals specifically, and I would like to address concerns primarily about parking and compliance as pertains to our rental. So for parking, many of our guests arrive by Uber. So I'm going to back up. Last night specifically, there was nobody at our rental. And there hasn't been for a little while. So I will acknowledge there may be parking problems in this area. I think that's a general concern. Many of our guests arrive by Uber. Those that do, or those that bring their own vehicles, do so because they're often not at the rental. So they need that mobility. They don't have an alternative. And we instruct specifically our customers to park on Raleigh, which has the greatest availability of parking out of consideration for our neighbors. 6 years ago, when we began this short-term rental, we did sign an agreement with Ghent United Methodist Church to add parking spaces to meet the parking requirement. They were happy to agree to that. We actually sit in our dining room and watch the parking situation, traffic situation, and part of the reason for that is to make sure that everybody has parking. We haven't personally seen a problem there overnight, but I will acknowledge that Colonial Avenue itself is tight, which is why we instruct our customers specifically not to park there. So we personally greet and welcome guests and keep them appraised of neighborhood issues. I'm happy to emphasize this since this is the only concern I've heard from the neighborhood about this rental, we're happy to address it to the extent that we can. Yeah, thanks for your consideration, and I hope that's addressed any concerns that were raised.
Thank you. Mr. Bull?
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance twice and adopt with the effective date. Mr. Clanton?
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. McGee?
Aye.
Mr. Page?
Aye.
Mr. Smiegel?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Dr. Alexander?
Aye. Mr. Clerk, C5.
C5 is an ordinance granting a conditional use permit to authorize a short-term rental unit or vacation rental on property located at 6227 Edward Street.
Mr. Clerk, I don't have anyone here to speak. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance twice and adopt with the effective date. Mr. Clanton?
Nay.
Mrs. Doyle?
Nay.
Mrs. Johnson?
Nay.
Mr. McGee?
Nay.
Mr. Page?
Nay.
Mr. Smiegel?
No.
Mr. Thomas?
No.
Dr. Alexander?
No. Mr. Clerk, C12.
C12 is an ordinance granting conditional use permits to authorize the operation of a banquet hall with the sale of alcoholic beverages for on-premises consumption named For Creatives on property located at 255 Granby Street.
Mr. Clerk, I move to continue generally.
Move is to continue generally. Mr. Clanton? To continue generally.
Aye.
You?
Motion is to continue generally.
Yes.
Mr. Clanton?
Nay.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. McGee?
Aye.
Mr. Page?
Aye.
Mr. Smiegel?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Dr. Alexander?
Aye. Mr. Clerk, R1.
R1 is a resolution to initiate the process of vacating a 50-foot wide public right-of-way dedication existing on a certain portion of city property located at 253 Grace Street. Adopt the resolution. Mr. Clanton?
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. McGee?
Aye.
Mr. Page?
Aye.
Mr. Smiegel?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Dr. Alexander?
Aye. Mr. Clerk, R2.
R2 is an ordinance to cancel the city council meeting on Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025 at 3:30 PM and schedule a city council meeting on Tuesday, April 29th at April 29th, 2025 at 3:30 PM. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance twice and adopt with the effective date. Mr. Clanton?
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. McGee?
Aye.
Mr. Page?
Aye.
Mr. Smiegel?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Dr. Alexander?
Aye. Mr. Clerk, R3.
R3 is an ordinance to amend the Norfolk City Council Rules of Procedure, Section 5-1A, regarding order of business for council meetings, Section 5-2 regarding the consent agenda, Section 5-3 regarding public comment, and Section 4-4A, 5B, rules regarding rules of conduct.
Thank you. Mr. Barry Hicks.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My question on this particular ordinance, or R2 is this? I tried to open up to see what it actually was addressing as far as the changes that are going to take place, and I would love for someone to share with me and the audience as to the changes that are in place.
Love to do it. Mr. Pishko.
Yes, there are two changes, Mr. Hicks. The comment period for agenda items, the R items and the consent agenda items, which is all that we have on the agenda tonight, is being moved up to the front of the meeting. And anybody who wants to address any of those items will have the 3 minutes at the beginning of the meeting for those items. PH items will stay coincident with the PH item, no change there. And new business will be held on the first meeting of each month. Those are the two changes.
So will there be any change to how many items that you can address? If, say if there's 5 or 6 different R items, can you still address each one of them for the period of 3 minutes?
Yes,
Yes.
that's,
So I only ask that because I've been told something different at the last minute, but that's dear to me to be able to, if the rules say that we can, I expect to be able to do that. And I just like to know the rules up front. So, thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bull.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance twice and adopt with the effective date. Mr. Clampton.
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle.
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson.
Aye.
Mr. McGee.
Aye.
Mr. Page.
Thanks for that, clearing up the information there. It's definitely an eye for me now.
Mr. Smiegel.
Aye.
Mr. Thomas. Dr. Alexander.
R4.
R4 is a resolution appointing 6 members to 2 commissions, 2 boards, and 1 authority for certain terms. Adopt the resolution. Mr. Clampton.
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle.
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson.
Aye.
Mr. McGee.
Aye.
Mr. Page.
Aye.
Mr. Smiegel.
Aye.
Mr. Thomas.
Aye.
Dr. Alexander.
Mr. Clerk, you have another?
That's all I have
All
tonight,
right,
sir.
new business. The first speaker is Elena Duraya, followed by Susan Matusik.
Good evening,
Hi.
Elena Daria, 1720 Gallery Avenue. Thank you, Dr. Cooper Alexander, for allowing me to speak, and I want to give a special thank you to Councilwoman Johnson for your sustained endorsement and support for me as a commissioner with the Bicycle, Pedestrian, and Active Transportation Commission. I am a pedestrian, so I tend to be more towards the pedestrian side of the commission. I walk my dog in the morning. I walk 7 days a week. I walk and I see a lot of things going on throughout in terms of pedestrians mostly. And I'm very concerned, and I echo what Michael Myers mentioned last week about asking for you all to support a position for a pedestrian and bicycle coordinator for the city of Norfolk. I was on the commission when we actually asked for that before, so I hope that you all will consider that when it comes up. Associated with that as well would be the appointment for a, well, not really appointment, but the Norfolk Public Schools getting the grant again for the Safe Routes to School program, which we have been without for the past 4 years, and I hope that you all will pay attention to that when it comes across and support that as well. There are a lot of things that we want to do with the commission. One of the things that we would like to do is maybe join forces with our sister city Portsmouth, who has a very nice nonprofit that supports them in teaching children about safety, pedestrian and bicycle safety. And with those 2 positions, I'm sure we would be able to get a coordination in that. Also, I've had to many times, just as an individual, look at and report about different things that are going on, specifically in my neighborhood, Lindenwood Elementary School. Specifically, they have not had a crossing guard on Lindenwood Avenue since September of 2023. And the crossing guard that they had there, that had been there for years, has passed away, so I'm not sure if they've gotten replacement, because there is a deficit of crossing guards, and I would like for those 2 positions would also be able to work with the police department, because they are in charge of it. So I thank you for your time, and I hope that you will support these 2 initiatives if they come across.
Thank you. Ms. Matusik, followed by Jay Boone.
I got to go to Jumars. That's my little treat before I come and see you lovely people. Happy Valentine's Day. I gave you the packet because there's just a lot of emotion in these pages. And I'm not very smart when it comes to building a house and ripping one down and doing the claim. I am seeing a lawyer tomorrow. And I just want you to know I'm not trying to delay the rebuilding of my house. It's just that the house at 8214 that burnt was financed through Caliber. Then we've been paid, we're not late on our mortgage, and went to New Resident. They sent me some jackleg check and said, hey, we're attempting to collect the debt. I said, who are you? No, I'm not giving you my money I'm going to rebuild the house with. So there's a lot of corruption in building. Now, Mr. Winslow, I think you know him. He's the code guy. He's been nice on the phone, and he knows that I've been sick, and I just got out of the hospital when I punched the window in, I got a staph infection, so I've been real sick. So I can't go back in that house and do I've done the structure and it's a total loss, everything in it, but I have to go through each room with somebody probably next week, because the antibiotics I should be good to replace that. And then I'm gonna rip it down, and I'm building a new house. but I just don't want to be any more tomfoolery over there. I don't want anybody on my yard. I had to call and, the state claim, it's just been, Allstate has been, I'm not in good hands with them. And once I'm done with all this, I'm getting a new insurance. But there's a lot of corruption, and people think I'm stupid. I'm a little off. I take meds, but I am not stupid. And I would never sign a check over to somebody I don't know. There's a lot of corruption, and we need to make sure that vulnerable people that they think I am, I'm not, but they think I am because I've got the label, but I'm not stupid. I will not sign a check till I see it. A lawyer has looked it over. I will not do anything. It's on a freeze, and I've been working with the code guy, Mr. Winslow. And so I want the attorneys on the board to know I like Norfolk. I was born here. I want our rec centers to be like in Virginia Beach. I think with all this beautiful growth with the ships coming in, and we're going to be able to have more tax-based locality, maybe I don't know if y'all are doing the casino or whatever. Are y'all doing that? All that's going to help us, help our kids and affordable housing. But my house, I'm coming back, okay? I don't want to talk about everything in this. There's enough there to follow. But everybody got one of these, right? And there's some things I don't understand. So I don't know who to go to for that. My ward person, is that you? In 6? So if I ever had a question, how would I come to you? Just call?
I'll give you my card.
Yes, sir. I gotta leave because I'm living in Elizabeth City. And I'm sorry that this happened. Thank y'all for being supportive. Happy Valentine's Day. Be nice to your wives or you're gonna have this.
Ms. Matusek, go this way. Give it to the
I'm
clerk.
just getting his card.
Give it to the clerk. There
Oh,
we
you
go.
want the packet?
No, there's your card.
Oh.
Get your card.
Did you, I don't need to give you this though, because you got it?
You got it.
Give it to Mr.
I think
Ms.
she's
Tracy.
yours.
Give it to Ms.
Oh,
Tracy.
can I
I
get
think
it?
she's in 7.
You have
It's
it?
at Wesley.
Well,
Thank you, Ms. Matusek.
thank you.
Ms. Jane,
Ms. Mr. Clanton's actually your council super ward
Oh.
Let me check
representative.
it to you.
I'm
I don't have any
sorry.
cards up here. Not up, well, hold on, let me see if I got that one.
New people. They're pretty blonde now. So I live in Oakdale.
I'll make sure we clarify.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanna write on this?
All right, Ms. J. Boone?
Okay. I just don't want you to look like
Got it.
you're misrepresenting
Well,
that.
yeah, before we close, I'll get
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I would like to ask people that are representing and supporting Norfolk Food Policy Council to please stand. My name is Jay Boone. I am here on behalf of the Norfolk Food Policy Council, and I represent Ward 4. I'm here to address a critical issue, food insecurity in our city. Norfolk leads Hampton Roads in food insecurity. In 2022, data showed that 13.2% of residents struggled with food access, more than any other city in the region. Our poverty rate stood at 19.7%, and 1 in 6 children in Norfolk face hunger. These numbers represent real families, real children, real struggles that are happening in our own backyard. After hearing the cries of Norfolk residents facing food insecurity, the city of Norfolk sent out a call to local organizations and community members to step up and help find solutions. The nutrition equity budget of $287,000 was included in the fiscal year 2022 budget as a commitment to address this crisis. This was a promise to the people of Norfolk and a recognition that food insecurity is an economic and public health issue that requires urgent action. Norfolk Food Policy Council answered that call. We have spent those years engaging with the community, gathering data, and building a plan that not only improves food access, but creates a sustainable, equitable food economy. Norfolk currently has no commission or board dedicated specifically to food access. So we stepped up to fill that gap. We have done the work, and we have the data, and we have partnerships and solutions. And yet, nearly 3 years later, this funding remains locked away while food insecurity continues to rise. Our request today is simple. Release the nutrition equity budget and allow Norfolk Food Policy Council to establish a grant process that will empower local organizations to implement the programs needed to make real change. This is not about food. This is about ensuring that every resident, regardless of income or zip code, have access to fresh, healthy food. It's about economic opportunity, about supporting local businesses, and about keeping the promise made to the people of Norfolk. The residents spoke, you listened, now it's time to act. Let's move forward together and make food sovereignty a reality. We look forward to you calling us. Thank you.
Adam Lavelle. Adam Lavelle. Okay. Arthur Devine.
Good evening, good evening. I'm Arthur Devine, 2700 block of Colchester Crescent, and I'm here tonight to bring to the City Council's attention my request for a recommendation to remove a member of the three-person electoral board for the City of Norfolk. My personal observation goes back to the date the board member launched a partisan attack on another electoral board member on the 17th of October, 2023. And as described in my letter that I've already handed out, when I first brought this issue to the Electoral Board and the Norfolk Registrar, I did not ask for it, but I did receive an apology from the board member for doing what the board member acknowledged was wrong. And a promise also not to do anything like this again, with the agreement to make this a teachable moment. And I accepted that with hope that it would change. Now, to this day, there has been no moments of teaching about the unacceptable behavior from the 17th of October. And furthermore, there has been more of the same partisan attacks and behavior that was repeated on the 5th of November, Election Day, by the same board member. And that makes the member's apology null and void. And the behavior of this electoral board member is a cancer that must be removed. And to reduce further spread, it should be specifically highlighted in the future training of election officers, of which I am one of the election officers for the City of Norfolk, and to demonstrate what a violation of our nonpartisan policy is. Now, the behavior I have presented to you is destructive and counterproductive to the good reputation of the City of Norfolk, and it is injurious to all citizens of Norfolk who expect their election officers to perform with integrity. Please, for the sake of the citizens of Norfolk, search this matter out, interview all the names that I've made available to you, and come up with a recommendation, I pray. Thank you.
Mr. Devine, for your information, the electoral board members are not appointed by the Norfolk City Council. The judges appoint the electoral board members, but thank you for your information, sir.
I ask for a recommendation to remove.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Barrett Hicks, followed by Woodrow W. Moore, Jr.
I'll make sure that everybody has the document in hand. Good evening again. I'm Barrett Hicks, President of the Concerned Citizens Association, Tidewater Connection, and the board chair for Iron Sharpens Irons, covering the last 2 years. I'm here tonight to say thank you to the city, Mr. Mayor, and those that work within the city for the events that we've been able to have over at the Chrysler Museum for Iron Sharpens Irons. Our first year out we had, in essence, 300 men, primarily black men, that stood up to make a difference. So we that was established by Councilman J.P. Page, and he reached out to me to say, can you come aboard? I think we've done an awesome job. Again, 300 black men the first year. And even more so, this year, we had about 150 in the House. But even more important, we had the key officials from around the city and somewhere around the state that understood that now it's time for some solutions. Not just talking about the problems, but solutions. So they were there to listen. Tonight, I want to share with the mayor for a proper place in city, one of the medals that we gave to people that have helped us. We called out 30 names. Surely, Mr. Mayor and Councilman Page, you both have done the work that's needed and required. We want to just say thank you to the city on behalf of the citizens. Before I leave, though, I want to make sure that we take the vision of Councilman Page and myself, more so myself asking now about the community hub. As the document I gave you, this is about solution hubs. So we put together a proposal that we have sent to the city manager and the city as a whole to get that recreation center over on Leek Street and the Campostella community opened up as a community hub. I think it's much needed and required throughout our city that we find hubs to where we're connecting. When I talk to folks at both these sharpened irons, and throughout the time that I've been around, 20-some years, we even have factions to where we can't even go into different communities. We've got to create hubs to where we're making those connections. I mean, our new police chief seems to be doing some things with community policing, but that hub, a hub in the community where we are able to sit and talk and make a difference. As these medals state, you make a difference, 2025. If I could.
Mr. Tracy. Thank you, Mr. Hitt.
One last thing, one last minute. Please, I saw that you guys were speaking to the library boards. There's still a great need for a library in the Berkeley community. Thank you, sir.
Ms. Hicks, before you go, I wanted to make sure that Mr. Pishko, can you just clarify, when Mr. Hicks asked, can he speak on all of the R items and the consent items, regardless of how many they are, that he wants to sign up for to speak in his 3 minutes? He's allowed to do that.
And Mr. Mayor, let me clarify, not just Mr. Hicks. We're asking him when I asked the
No.
question, but again, sounds like we're about to change some legislation because of Mr. Hicks, but go ahead.
No, it's not because of Mr. Hicks.
Yes,
but
sir.
The mayor is correct that a speaker can address as many CNR items in the 3 minutes as he wants to.
Thank you, sir.
And also, the public hearings will be standalone, and new business will be once a month.
Yes, sir, that's fine.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, Ms. Hicks.
Thank you for the
And
clarification.
thank you for the medal. Thank you, sir, for the recognition. Mr. Moore, Woodrow W. Moore.
Giving glory to the good Lord. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Good evening, everyone. Look, I live at 2787 Tate Terrace, my wife and I. My wife is retired Navy. We moved here 37 years ago. We made Norfolk our home. This past December the 17th was our anniversary. We've been married 37 years. But what I'm here tonight for, because I have been here before about my property. My property joins the city property where the city got all kind of heavy equipment over there. I got one dump truck. I had this dump truck. This dump truck cost me $250,000. And I just got it paid for, not this past October, but October before last. And zoning want to make me move it, and I have nowhere to take it because these people will vandalize your stuff. And the truck is a nice truck, and I don't have anywhere to take it. You know what I mean? My wife and I, we're trying to build a new home because we recently had our oldest daughter had a brain tumor, and it left her half paralyzed. So we're trying to tear down our house now. We got the paperwork down here, the engineer looking at the property and everything. so we could tear the house down and build a new house. But this is my livelihood, you know what I mean, what they're trying to do to me. You know what I mean? So I'm just asking the city, we got 2.2 acres. You can't even see the truck from the street. You know what I mean? If you pass by my house, you don't even know the truck back there. You know what I mean? And it's just sad that somebody done called the city on me and said that, well, they don't want it back there. It's in my backyard. But it's in my yard. And I worked hard for everything that I got. So I'm just asking the city to take a look at this situation because I'm in desperate need. The truck was broke down recently for 3 months because of this new DEF system that they have on the truck. I haven't worked in 3 months. And like it's raining out there now, it ain't no work out there for a dump truck when you hauling sand. And another thing, I get up at 3:30 in the morning to go to Knox Island to go to work. So if I park the truck somewhere else, that means that I gotta get up before then and go and get the truck if it's all right. So I just wanted the city council to take a look into this because I don't think that is right. You know what I mean? I'm not asking you to throw me up under the bus. You know what I mean? I worked hard for everything I got, so that's all that I got to say.
Thank you. Mr. Moore, Mr. Manager, can you assign someone to Mr. Moore to take a look at theirs?
James Rogers is here, and he's
Change
familiar
it.
with it. He'll talk with him.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
sir.
see if there's.
James done been to my house, he know.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but you don't have an application for a change of zoning, you don't, so we're trying to, I need to know more.
Okay,
And
all
so-
right then, well, look, I appreciate that.
Thank you, so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Bull, and did Mr. Adam Lavelle Adam Lavelle? No Adam Lavelle? All right, Council's got